atmosphere we have tonight in Telford. It's the climax of day 2 at the Johnson Paint Players' Championship. And we are about to be graced by 4 world-class sportsmen, one of whom is widely regarded as the greatest of all time. What an occasion to savour at the International Centre. Introducing, first of all, a player in the form of his life. He is loving being amongst the top 16. Twice a ranking finalist last year. 1 or 2 people have said there's more than a passing resemblance between himself and me. So, would you please welcome Leicester's exceptionally handsome Tom Ford and his opponent, a player of immense tenacity on and off the table. Winner of 5 ranking titles so far, still going strong after more than 20 years in the sport. Masters runner-up this year, he will go for it tonight because he's the captain, Ali Carter. On table 1, here comes a 3-time ranking event finalist. Made the semis of the Scottish Open just before Christmas. One of China's finest, one of China's youngest, Zhou Yuelong. And finally, to a player who's already won 4 titles this season. History maker, record breaker, the world #1, blink and you'll miss him, the Rocket, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Bring along. Head. It's a tail.
Good evening. Well, it's not only a packed house, there's a real sense of anticipation and excitement in the air ahead of this match. Ronnie O'Sullivan has ever centre stage. It seems his aura grows every time you see him.
Ronnie O'Sullivan
He's having such a good season. He's won his last 15 matches on tour. He's not lost since November. He's won 4 titles in total. And he is a big favourite to progress tonight, the head-to-head 6-0. The last 2 meetings have been deciders, but he got the better of Zhou Yuelong at the UK Championship and more recently at the World Grand Prix. Zhou is going to have to produce the goods tonight, he knows that. He got in 15th spot on that one-year list to take on the great man again. Yeah, when the doors opened, people absolutely flocked to the arena to get the best seats. Terrific to see. Let's hope they're rewarded with a high-quality match here. It seems, Neil, that when Ronnie plays in tournaments this season, he generally wins them.
Yeah, it seems that way, and maybe just not playing in everything has added to that air of invincibility that he seems to have over a number of the players, not all of them. But as you say, he's been a very successful season. It's very hard to, week in, week out, play your best. We saw Judd Trump back last night after a break, didn't play in the Welsh. So I think it's fair enough to miss out on events, as disappointing as it might be for the spectators. Especially getting the best out of yourself.
Yeah, I mean, he's judged it perfectly, hasn't he? Just the record this season speaks for itself. If he were to win the title, O'Sullivan, and of course there's a long way to go before Sunday, but 125,000, it would actually take him over £1 million prize money for the season. And of course, some big first prizes still to play for. Well, he just avoided a secondary kiss there that would have left that cue ball right in amongst the reds.
A little bit of a wince there from O'Sullivan. He missed the red by quite a way. Not easy shots to judge those. Just off straight. I think had he got the pot, the cue would have gone around, possibly onto the black. What that's done is given Zhou Yuelong the kind of chance he needs early. He needs to make early inroads here. Very good player. In here completely on his achievements, of course, like they all are, but just that extra hurdle of beating O'Sullivan, and as Dave pointed out, it's something that he hasn't managed yet. This would be as good a place to start as any.
Yeah, I mean, he's had some good runs this season. Quarterfinals of the English Open. Quarterfinals, of course, at the UK, where O'Sullivan beat him. Scottish Open, he looked certain to be in the final. Gary Wilson needed 3 snookers in their decider in the semis and got them and beat him.
No.
He's seen a few of his compatriots, of course, come through and both challenge for titles and win titles. He wants to be in that group as well. Sort of already feels like an important visit because it's a chance to just settle down and
16.
also show O'Sullivan that he's up for this tonight. He's feeling good. He's ready to take his chances.
17.
Yeah, I mean, the blue may be away from his spot and tied
24.
up, but, you know, the high-value colours and the reds out in open play mean this is an excellent opportunity. It really is. Nice little
25.
avoidance of the 2 reds there through the gap. They got through that one pretty well, all things considered. Timed it nicely and finished perfectly, putting his cue between the 2 reds here for this next shot.
33.
A confident air that he's giving off, whether he actually feels that way, I'm not sure, but a few more reds and blacks will build on that.
Yeah, this is the 5th black coming up. Not sure we'd call it a straightforward chance for a
40.
maximum. Obviously, that red up by the blue.
I was just looking up there. Yeah, I'd be quite surprised if this went all the way. I really would,
41.
by anybody, not just Zhou Yuelong. I don't care who's on the end of the queue. That red and the blue, and there's lots of reasons why. There's only one thing on his mind here, and that's to get the frame one. This shot. Quite awkward queuing. Easy to just put a little bit aside on with the 2 reds in the way. No, that's nice, really nice. So this is very encouraging.
48.
Well, it's the 7th
49.
time he's played O'Sullivan. The first 4, he only won 2 frames in total. So, you know, more recently, he's fared better. 2 deciders. The next step, obviously, is to actually get over the line.
$56.
Staying on
57.
the black if he wants it. Could play pink to middle. Wouldn't blame him. So a bit more to
63.
do with 83 still on. We saw that break last night of
64.
139 Judd Trump, which was the highest chance of picking up the break prize, but of course it was absolutely marmalised today with that mammoth 146. Almost immediately the match started to Mark Allen. And I think the players that we see in the conditions so good,
70.
we can expect a lot of very big breaks this week. They will look beautiful.
71.
This frame is just about one. If you're not seeing the pink, it could be a question of O'Sullivan already thinking about conceding when the chance comes. Whether he's wanting a bit of table time remains to be seen, because this man has won this frame in one visit.
Yeah, he's not quite on that red on the right-hand side, but it's an impressive start, this, as you say. You know,
77.
you're sort of looking for clues from the opponent. How are you feeling tonight in front of this big audience, big match? And he stood up to it nicely.
Thank you.
Three
Yuelong,
snookers required.
77,
O'Sullivan
and
already nodding his head. So Zhou Yuelong got the chance and took the chance. 77 the break. And we're off and running here on night 2 of the Players' Championship. Zhou leads O'Sullivan 1-0. International Centre
Thank
is
you.
the venue
The
for the
second
Players'
frame.
Championship. We're off and running on the
Very
second
long
night.
to
Zhou Yuelong, a nice 77 from him to take the opener against Ronnie O'Sullivan. The winner plays either Mark Selby or Barry Hawkins. They're up tomorrow afternoon. Of course, you can watch table 2 on ITVX. There's some good stuff being played there already by Ali Carter. He's on a big break and he's going to be 1-0 up against Tom Ford.
One.
Yeah, just sliding past the green, which means you can take it to left middle. It's a very clean pot, this, and he hit it quite firmly. He knew the cube was shaping around the safety. He sat out and was very intently watching Zhou Yuelong during the course of that break of 77, O'Sullivan. Not always the case. He didn't really take his eyes off the main table. Not sure if he's that interested in the match, featuring his old mate Ali Carter and Tom Ford, so maybe that was it. He's more concerned about what's happening on here. Don't always see players fixed on their opponent, but Ronnie was. Good shot.
12.
Picked up the
13.
pace of the table very quickly, this pair.
Well, the cheering is for Carter, who's made 116 frame 1, so that's already the 10th century of the tournament. And this is only the 3rd session.
I have to say, there is
20.
an absolutely superb atmosphere in here tonight. I remember when the UK was
21.
played here, and it was always good, but this feels as if snooker coming back to Telford. As people have been waiting for it to do so. O'Sullivan won here the UK Championship the first year it was played.
28.
Going back to 2007. Now he's tasted success here and just about everywhere else.
Ronnie O'Sullivan,
That
28.
is a serious error.
Completely unexpected. Obviously, he was always going to be split in the reds, but he didn't pot it. And so what a chance this is for Zhou Yuelong. Half the work's been done for him. The reds are open. Can he pick them off?
1. Yeah. 8.
He didn't get very close to this. As you see, he goes left of the draw. Really wasn't threatening the pocket.
9.
Well, Sullivan has only lost 3 matches all season, and to 2 different players, both Chinese actually. Zhang Han has beaten him twice. Liu Haishan was the other successful player against him. But Zhou Yuelong supporters will be sensing an early opportunity here, certainly to strike back in this frame.
16. $17. $24.
Well, they're just going to be dropping this in, and hopefully from Zhou's point of view, not going too far up the table. Leaving the cue ball in the centre somewhere, maybe for a bolt colour, maybe for the blue. Yeah, that's absolutely
25.
fine. It's an early stage of the match, but it feels a moment already with the O'Sullivan error that he didn't really make a serious one in the first frame, but he made one in this frame. Punishable. It's gone a little tricky from there.
29.
Positionally, there's no problem, but these little cutbacks can go wrong. Can't really see the pocket opening. It's not in your eye line.
Yuelong, 29.
It is an awkward shot. It doesn't look much, does it? But as I say, you line up the ball in the pocket, but you don't see the pocket on those. It's a blind shot.
One.
Couldn't do much with that, O'Sullivan, except basically get the red off the table.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 1.
Well, it was certainly a chance missed from Zhou Yuelong. Just left himself awkward on the red. Yeah, not the best. So a chance, if he can pop this, to get going again. Makes a difference with hand on table. Oh, cued it beautifully. So back in. He wasn't punished this time.
Such a good shot. Table, but the cueing, it was an early test of how O'Sullivan is hitting the ball. And the signs are good. He's very good at recognising
6.
points. And he knows that Zhou Yuelong is sitting there thinking that he could have taken both of the first 2 frames. There's some doubt as to whether he will now.
Yeah, and I noticed as well in that first watching intently, and that's the thing now, isn't it? You know, he's ducked out of a few events this season, which he has the freedom to do because he's doing so well. You know, if he's here, it's because he wants to be. You know, he's not going through the motions coming here. He's targeting another title.
Good. Just, he knew that the green was no good to him where it was. So best way to move it is to pot it,
10.
free the black.
11.
That UK Championship Neil mentioned, 2007, he beat Mark Selby in a decider with a maximum in the semis, and then beat overwhelmed Steve Maguire actually in the final.
Just feel that he's got to now go on and win this frame. There's a bit more to be done.
17.
He'll need all 3 reds.
$18. $25. $26.
Now just off straight as planned on this pink to land in behind the red. And it's all he'll need following this pink, the next red. That'll do. He just didn't mean to get into it and graze it, but
52.
it's only fractionally out. So there's
43.
definitely a chance missed for Zhou Yuelong, but Sullivan has come back powerfully in the frame.
Yes, he missed the red, didn't he, initially splitting them, and he left a good scoring opportunity. Zhou Yuelong
45.
left that just tricky cut back to the yellow pocket, and then a poor safety left the red on from
57.
distance, so Sullivan stepped in. And the problem for Zhou Yuelong there is, you know, that the initial mistake, the initial miss from O'Sullivan, might not be many more of those tonight.
40.
It was a chance to really try and apply some pressure early on, and it didn't happen.
44.
Even so, a lively start. We've only been going 19 minutes.
49.
Snooker audiences in general are up, which is great. They were up last week in Llandudno, but definitely whenever Ronnie
55.
O'Sullivan plays, the people turn out. And in this frame, they've seen him hit back and punish Zhou Yulong's failure to take the frame when he had the chance. So the rocket has lift-off here in Telford. He's levelled at 1 each. Start here, we've only been playing 20 minutes. It's 1-1 between Ronnie O'Sullivan and Zhou Yuelong. O'Sullivan winning frame 2. Now, this is table 2. Ali Carter started with a break of 116. But Tom Ford, as you see, is going to win frame 2. This is a
80.
repeat of last year's German Masters final, which Carter dominated 10-3. But Ford
80.
this season, he's had his best ever season. He was in the International Championship final. He's back in the top 16, actually. So Tom Ford with every reason to believe he can come through tonight. That is live all night on ITVX.
Thank you. The third frame. Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
62, the break in the end in frame 2. He won this Players' Championship in 2018, of course 2019. 1000th century in Preston. Last frame at the Guildhall, what an extraordinary occasion that was. And he was runner-up to John Higgins in 2021 as well in this tournament.
Well, shaping up to look at this plant because it's very difficult. Reds a long way apart. Cue ball means it's going to be thin. Looking at that lineup though, he mightn't be a mile away from it, but he'll be getting the cue ball back down to safety as well. Very good shot.
One.
Sometimes you look at where the cue ball is in relation to the 2 reds. If they're offset like that, then it's almost unnatural for the plant to go close.
Carry along. 1.
Played that well. He didn't sort of overhit it, or of course he didn't fail to reach. Meantime, 113 from Ford in reply to the 116 from Carter. So 1 apiece. Great standard already tonight.
Touching ball.
Yeah, great standard, because it is the form 16 players of the season, the players who've earned the most points. People say, well, it's not really on the others, but of course, at the start of the season, you don't know who's in this. For instance, the defending champion didn't make it this year, Sean Murphy, and he was brilliant 12 months ago. You don't get automatically put back in it as champion. You've got to earn the right, whoever you are.
That's absolutely right. I've heard people describe these events as invitation tournaments. They're not at all. You qualify for the world ranking list.
Well, you're able to invite yourself, aren't you, by being successful? And all of these 16 have done just that.
Yeah, so we know the players who are not here. You mentioned Murphy, obviously Robertson, Brissell, Karen Wilson. So you know, they're hard to get in, they're hard to win. Just seems really switched on tonight, Ronnie O'Sullivan, in all areas so far.
I think that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, you look at Zhou Yuelong, not beaten him before. You know, he's probably thinking, is he beatable? Of course, the answer is yes. Sullivan doesn't always win. Although he hasn't been beaten for a long time. But you get a chance, maybe one in a frame, and you have to take it. And in that previous frame, he didn't do so, but he managed it in frame one. He's got to keep pressing on against O'Sullivan. He did miss out, and O'Sullivan pounced. Shot. He took a minute and a half because I don't think he felt there was a safety shot that he could execute. And I think it's the old adage, really, if you just don't think there's a safety shot and there's a pod on, why not go for it? And it was the best bit of striking I've seen in the match so far. Beautiful shot. Yes, he might have been concerned as to where the pink went, because going up onto the yellow means the red is on, he's not blocked off by the pink. Doesn't go on its own spot. So he was aware of that.
Eight.
Just finished in the middle of nowhere, actually, there. She had a little bit of right-hand side, it checked off the cushion rather than sort of up the table as it was meant to do without the side. What a terrific shot. If that red goes, I'm sure it does.
13.
Yeah, and what a good shot. I thought at first he'd half bailed out in potting it with safety in mind, but not anything of the kind.
14.
Very, very good shot, this. I think the positional side is as good as the pot.
So he's got himself nicely in again. Can he just keep ideal position this time? That was the problem in the last frame. Left himself that awkward cutback, which cost him.
22.
Didn't lose the frame from it, but it stopped him continuing on towards 2-0.
$29. $30. $35.
It was a good
36.
comeback from the previous frame, which he could have won. Really top-class long red to begin. And since then, he's been in control.
$41. $42.
Yuelong won the World Amateur title at the age of just 15, so the signs were certainly there. He was 17 when, with Yan Bingtai, won the World Cup for China's B team. And then it's about stepping up and trying to make your way as a pro, and he's done well. He's been in 3 ranking finals. Just hasn't quite yet got his hands on a trophy.
49.
Matches like this are the ones, aren't they? If you can beat the real top players, then you develop a reputation. Zhang An's done that this season, of course, winning the international.
I think he can just get through this, enough of it, but he's concerned by it because he's got to not only get the pot, which is a tight one, and then there's that red just to the left, which he's probably going to go into. This whole package is getting pot and position. Oh goodness, he hit the wrong red. He's furious
49.
because he could have played a different red. If he was so unsure, why didn't he play the red to right corner with the long equipment? He's hit the wrong red here. That's a moment again. Goodness, what a chance that was. Shame the way it ended that break.
Yes, I mean, this frame is far from over, but it's kind of part of the story of O'Sullivan's season. As well as he's played and he's won 4 titles, so many times during those events, players have had chances against him and haven't taken them. And here we see, caught the wrong red.
It's not a very nice shot looking at the overhead even then. But there you are.
Ronnie O'Sullivan 9.
There you are. That's an even bigger mistake. Zhou Yuelong's eyes lit up when he saw this second bite of the cherry, I tell you.
Yeah, very surprising miss, black off the spot from O'Sullivan. What a gift for Zhou. He's got a good lead as he comes to the table. Not much more to do, really.
This is kind of where he was
8.
on the previous shot where he hit the wrong red. He could have played this red. Now he has no choice but to play it. So red with a colour. And he's won this frame. The first frame when there's any real significant errors, 1 each.
Thank you. 9.
Well, this was the black that O'Sullivan missed. And yeah, Zhou Yuelong straight out of his seat. He still needs to pop this blue though. 50 in front, 51 on. This needs to go in. Well, he didn't exactly play on the next red, did he? He took the points, which is fair enough. He can still pot this, but
14.
snooker required.
I don't think this frame's
14.
quite over because the balls could hardly be a better place for getting snookers.
One.
I know why he didn't play on the pink there. I think it went past the red, but even then, it's a nice area to snooker behind by the yellow. Now red, I'm assuming black if he's got the angle. And then could still lay a pretty nasty snooker.
7.
Still could get interest in this frame. If he lands in a position to get this snooker. Not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, that black was a lot tougher than the one he missed earlier. And that was a big moment because the danger was after Zhou Yuelong failed to take his chance, O'Sullivan would start to run away with it. It's not happened. Zhou leads 2-1. It's to Zhou Yuelong against Ronnie O'Sullivan here, the Players' Championship first round.
Very long to break.
Quite an eventful evening so far. Of course, there's 2 matches on here tonight, and a real high-quality one between Ali Carter and Tom Ford. There was an exchange of centuries. Actually, Ali Carter missed the brown on 97 in the third. So there could have been 3, but he's 2-1 up there, and that's live on ITVX.
He's in need of cover, and he anxiously looks across. He has found cover. Cushion first may be a way of getting to the red. Maybe a trace of left-hand side onto that cushion. These are quite hard shots to judge, I think. See a lot of these missed. Almost the best way to play it is almost like a safety shot. Swing the cue ball back round. In attempting to pot the ball, he doesn't think he can get to enough of it. He's back on the red again. The left-hand side definitely required. Yeah, it was the worst outcome to hit too much of the red. He's leaving the other one. That black O'Sullivan missed in the last frame. I think he made that mistake all snooker players make. Was concerned about the cue ball, forgot the obvious bit, the pot. And now, 1 or 2 other errors have crept in. Interesting to see how this frame goes. I think O'Sullivan will be happy to get to the mid-session at 2-all. See that as a positive. He's just a little bit sort of off his best.
One.
Terrific. Played like that. Doesn't really have a great angle to get the bunch open. A lot of cue power required for this shot.
Eight. Touching ball. Yeah.
Called with the spider. I suppose this is the right part of the world to use an iron bridge.
Thank you. Thanks.
I think he's right about exactly that, hitting the jaw of the middle pocket. These matches, best of 11, it's quite a long session. Of course, in the World Grand Prix round one, it's best of 7. It's quite a trappy distance, you know, but a longer match should suit a player who might just need to find their form. Yes, I think he's left the middle red.
One. Six. Seven.
I didn't want to risk playing on the black, even though he might have been able to pot it getting low on it. The red to the left of it was in the way, but it's in the middle of nowhere. That's a better shot than it looked. It was slightly hampered by the pack of reds underneath him.
$11.
Able to get the cue into the bunch of reds here. He's got reds out in play, so he can afford, you'd think, to screw into these with plenty of options. That'll do him. $18. 19. Once again, that's a beautiful positional shot. You can see ways that can go wrong if you overhit it on nothing, but he didn't do so.
25.
Quickly engineering a good chance here from not a great deal. I wouldn't have deserved that. That red going in, because it was quite a good shot. So all of a sudden, the balls are out in play. He's with an opportunity. I don't think he looks at his brilliant best, but as I said, if he could get to 2-all, I think he's got a lot to work with there.
Well, he's just opened this frame up, hasn't he? Shot after shot. A couple of reds have gone safe, but he's got a useful lead. He won't need them all.
Seems to me, of course, you do need luck when you go into the bunch. You've done it twice in this break, but if you play it skillfully, then you're more likely to get lucky.
41.
You know, the cue ball zipped into the bunch and back out of them.
He's got such a quick brain. You look at the shot times, 14 seconds, not running around the table. He just sees the shots so quickly.
Well, that's something about his game that's never changed in over 30 years as a professional. 32.
46.
Again,
Right,
stretching on one there. Very handy break. I mean, you won't be pleased with it, but it's still quite an effective break with all these reds safe. It makes him favoured in the frame, whatever Zhou Yuelong is left here.
One.
Well, it's clearly not a straightforward table, but equally the frame could have been over. He can at least get back into it here. He's not been blitzed, has he? Which did happen in those first 4 meetings against O'Sullivan when he won just 2 frames in total.
Six.
Yeah, you're right. He
7.
could move to within a few points of O'Sullivan. I mean, if he did win the frame from here, it would be something to see. Enough awkward reds.
Twelve. $13.
Now he has the angle to potentially move the left-hand red, the top red of the two. Chip it away from the cushion. Didn't have to play it, but it might be there. Well, he's played it all right. It's not easy now. Don't know if it goes anywhere.
19.
Thin, extraordinarily thin if you consider him cutting your back. be sure that that would go. Well, he's going to have to get this the thinnest of edges on this. Goodness. It just didn't look on, and
Very long,
can't defy
19.
the law of physics or geometry, or I don't even know what is the law of, but if it doesn't go, it doesn't go.
Well, it's kind of a snooker law, isn't it? That he was trying to defy. This red could have finished anywhere. Brown kissed it. Just pot to this corner.
Yeah, I mean, it just didn't go. I just don't think it went. Strangely, as Dave pointed out, the cue ball just whacked into the brown and stopped dead. In the context of such sort of beautiful snooker, it was a reckless-looking shot, to be honest. Pretty good shot. I mean, he could have got it off clearly, which would not have been so good with the ball in hand and the red to the right corner. It never happened. And you see all these breaks and barrage of big breaks this afternoon, but at this frame it would be as significant as any of those, because both players will be annoyed to lose it. One of them will. A few shouts for O'Sullivan. There's not much here for him.
It's 2-2 at the interval between Ali Carter and Tom Ford. It's been cracking stuff over there. And they've got to the interval first.
Interesting, because he's left that red, but it's horrible. I mean, it's just off straight, down to the table. They've been rattling through the frames here, but as Dave pointed out, the other table has also been attacking, scoring, fluent. I think he was lucky, though. I have a feeling, unless my eyes deceived me, that that was a double kiss. Have another look. I'm sure it double kisses. Not sure as I was, though.
Brilliant. So he's got a useful lead already. 25 with the blue, so the 2 reds in open play should see him home. It has been a feature of his season. It hasn't all been, you know, that match against Ding was amazing. It hasn't all been that, but a lot of it's been just battling when he's had to.
7.
Yeah, I mean, there have been 2 tournaments since he won up in Leicester in the World Grand Prix, which he hasn't played in the German Masters and the Welsh Open. He's won them both in the past, but he wasn't going to win them this year. They're just a little bit rusty, perhaps. All the match practice isn't there. Putting in hours on the practice table isn't quite the same thing. And like I said earlier, he would be pleased to get the interval all square, I think. There's an argument that
21.
Zhou Yuelong has been marginally the better player, but it doesn't count for anything.
No, you've still got to beat Ronnie O'Sullivan, that's the point. And even if he's not at his best, you've still got to get the win. You've got to take your chances. Zhou Yuelong has played well at times tonight, for sure.
Yep, and the frame.
But this frame has gone, and it sets it up perfectly for when they come back after the interval. A really intriguing match, this. All square, Ronnie O'Sullivan 2, Zhou Yuelong 2.
Joel, thank you. Very nicely poised indeed. And I just get the impression that after the interval, we'll see more of the real Ronnie O'Sullivan. Although that was the worst possible break-off you can imagine. He's been very fortunate where he's ended up. Well, given the mess that O'Sullivan made of the break, I suppose that's justice.
Eight. Nine. $16.
Yeah, that break-off actually was shades of John Spencer in 1982. He did the same thing off the same left-hand corner pocket. Steve Davis stepped in, made a 147. Not saying that's going to happen here. You never know.
24.
Indeed, that was the first. This could be the 200th.
Long rest.
Lovely shot that, wasn't it? It's been a feature of the first 24 hours of this tournament. The bedcloth is playing very nicely.
Thank you. 25.
very early in the piece, of course, but it would not be uncharted territory for Zhou Yuelong to make a 147. He's put together 2 in professional competition. Indian Open 2019, Scottish Open 2020.
32. $33. 40. Very long 40.
That's what he can't afford. Basic errors when he gets his chance. I think the 147 was on his mind for sure.
One.
And right now, Alan, it seems as though Alan's angle before the start of this match was, as usual, spot on. Just needs to tighten up Zhou Yuelong.
Yes,
8.
kind of went through in that piece. He's no problem going along in open
9.
play normally. Just hasn't been able to put the finishing touches to last couple of matches against O'Sullivan.
16.
Certainly had his chances like he has this evening. That was a nice little cannon, that, wasn't it? Trying to promote the tied up reds. And that's where O'Sullivan, you would think, has got the upper hand in this match. Well, he's got the upper hand in
22.
well, most matches, let's face it, but
23.
he just holds a few more sort of trump cards, if you like. There it is again, with shots like that. All right, he's been a bit unfortunate this time, but he never needs to be asked twice to
40.
play the aggressive shot. This time it's gone badly wrong, though.
Sullivan 30.
But even there, that's a very clever way of playing it. Red doesn't go past the yellow, so you play on the brown to the same pocket, hoping for blue ball cover, and he's got it. So it was quite a smart shot, that, even although it was aggressive. And that's where he's got to be tighter. All right, this will take some potting, but he can't be offering these sort of half chances up.
One.
This knowledgeable and enthusiastic crowd realising, although the red was close to a pocket, it wasn't, as Alan said, easy, especially when you're not exactly firing on all cylinders.
Six. 7.
Yeah, that's the clever shot. He needs the red, and he's absolutely perfect on the black to play it now. All right, he's not did it as well as he might have done, but it's the smart shot because he knows that he needs it to secure the frame at this visit. So this could be the big shot of the frame.
15. $22.
And again, the smart
20.
play is bulk colour off that red.
$27. 28.
Looking for full ball on the yellow, so
32.
still a bit of work to do. But I'm afraid, you know, if this blue goes in, it should be the frame. Zhou invited trouble with the safety shot that he played.
38.
If ever Ronnie O'Sullivan is vulnerable to defeat, it might be this evening, all he's played so far. And yet, he's now hit the front. Doesn't augur well for Zhou Yuelong at all.
O'Sullivan 43 and the frame.
Zhou's in first. O'Sullivan did the business when it mattered. 3-2.
Frame 6. Yuelong to break.
The scene at the Telford International Centre. Day 2 of the Players' Championship. The game's greatest box office attraction, Ronnie O'Sullivan in town. 3-2 up. Halfway to victory over Zhou Yuelong, but he will be wanting a wholesale improvement on what's gone so far.
And here's another half chance for free. He's got to tighten up Zhou Yuelong. He's going to threaten to win this match tonight.
Nine.
In general terms,
60.
O'Sullivan's accuracy this evening hasn't been where it normally is. But the
Seven.
attitude and the application have been. And with him, that's half the battle.
$24. 25. $32. 33.
That was a gorgeous little shot. Get swiftly back into control of the chance. He marginally had lost the cue
48.
ball for a shot there. And there's
39.
another. Absolutely perfect. With the opposite hand as well.
$44. 45.
Such an asset to get the cue ball working out of there and above the blue line. Always going to have a shot on.
$50.
And from a position where it feels like
51.
about 5 or 6 minutes ago, where Yuelong had some control toward the end of frame 5. Within a few minutes, it feels like he could be going 2 behind.
Yes, a 2 each at the interval. You
57.
knew if O'Sullivan got into gear, he could still be over very quickly.
58. $63.
The frame not yet 5 minutes old. Already O'Sullivan on the threshold of winning it.
64.
He's got a proud unbeaten record to maintain, to safeguard this
71.
evening. And prospects now are looking a lot brighter.
72.
Yeah, quite similar to the match, the feature match this afternoon.
79.
When Mark Allen led
80.
4-3. Mark Williams played what looked a very innocent safety shot. He was unfortunate to leave a plant. Mark Allen did the rest. Willow broke off like Zhou Yuelong did in this frame. It
86.
was his last shot.
87. $94. 95.
His last shot of any meaningful consequence anyway.
Everyone in this crowd can now say, I've seen Ronnie O'Sullivan make a century.
103.
By the way, it's the 1,241st he's made in professional competition.
109. 111. 114. 118. 123. 129.
'From patchy to perfect. Total clearance, total class. O'Sullivan leads 4-2. They are playing for places in the quarterfinals of the Players' Championship this
Ronnie
evening.
O'Sullivan to break.
Ronnie O'Sullivan has just won the shortest, the fastest, whatever you like, frame in the tournament so far. 4-2 ahead, 2 more frames required for progress. On the other table, after complete fluency in the first 4 frames, well, the 5th frame was scrappier. Low scoring. Carter won it and leads Tom Ford 3-2. And of course, if you want to see Carter Ford, which pre-interval was really high quality, why not multi-device and go over to ITVX?
Wow.
That shot was
Very
a little
long.
X-rated. Alan, after such a lengthy period of potting inactivity, no surprise really. Zhou didn't knock that one in.
Yeah, and it all happened so quickly, didn't it? That last frame, as you say, the quickest frame of the tournament so far, all in a blur almost. And Yuelong all of a sudden can be forgiven for feeling like the match is beginning to slip away. No, that's better.
Fun.
Yeah, I like the way he played that. He didn't go full pace. He sometimes get a bit edgy on that and you hit it a bit too hard. Stroked it home.
The technical prerequisite on that kind of shot is to keep still, and he was very still. Good sign.
Three. 4.
He played a shot similar to this earlier if he goes deep. Cue ball, but he didn't play it with any right-hand side to get the cue ball spinning towards blue ball colour. Let's see if he gets anything on it. See, it's
10.
sort of checked there. Still a good shot. The modern player tends to play that with a little bit of right-hand side, get the cue ball up table as far as they can. Not easy. Okay then, 2 cushions into the reds. Oh, how can he not be on that? Must be touching
16.
ball.
Touching ball.
Yeah. Yeah, touching or not, very tight. But the fact that Leo Scullion has called touching ball, if that red moves at all, it'll be deemed a foul. Yeah, well done.
His initial reaction was disgust. He thought he wasn't on this red. He looked to the heavens, but in fact it would go.
Twenty-two. $23.
Yeah, it's gone badly wrong. It's end of break, barring a double. Tried to be a wee bit cute with the cannon. Not saying he played it the wrong way, but lots of loose reds in the open there. But a wee bit more forceful, I think, with the black into the quartet of reds there. I think would have offered something better. Easy with hindsight. So, just the safety.
Yuelong, 30.
Looking at the long red to this right corner, cue ball in bulk, just hoping to knuckle it. Keep the red down this end. Not the worst result. deciding to take this on because of the luxury of a two-frame lead. If he plays a safety off the left wing, he's going to leave this red, so he's thinking, I might as well take it on. Great pot.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 1.
With the red in the vicinity of that top left-hand pocket, O'Sullivan needed cover. The brown provides it.
This is high tar. I've got to avoid the left bump of the middle pocket. And a lot of traffic in the way. It was very tough, that safety shot, but that's the test.
The initial red is not a gimme.
One.
And not yet where he wants to be with the cue ball. This is another tester.
Four. Okay. 5.
Applied check side to that one, and yet the bed of the table is so beautiful. It ran on and on.
Eight. 9. Fourteen. 15.
'The cue ball in this break not under 100% control until that delicate effort.
Thank you. 21. 22. 27. 28.
This time he's got what he was after all along, a straightish red to get the black back in its spot.
35.
So this red coming up next is, well, it's not difficult really. Straight or just high of straight on the black.
$42.
And it should be 5-2. It's the last hurdle, I think.
43.
So, half ball cannon. Doesn't fancy it, so it's the deep screw, the spinner. Not this time.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 43.
The one thing that frustrates O'Sullivan more than anything else is when he doesn't have control of the white. And there, off the penultimate red, it was a little loose. Will he be made to pay? The frame back very much alive.
Yeah, he's gotten away with it. That's twice he's found cover on a red that potentially could have let Zhou Yuelong back into the frame. Nicely played. You can't see him refusing this one. Hasn't been in tip-top shape from this sort of range this evening.
This was so close, but no immediate damage done. This looks very useful indeed. That's why I said no immediate damage. The shot was on, and Zhou Yuelong played it to the millimetre.
Yeah, that was a touch of class, that shot. Ronnie looking for help again. And this time he hasn't got it. Now then, Zhou Yuelong, you've got to make this count. A classy safety shot to earn the chance.
One. Six. Eight.
2 points behind, so he doesn't have to worry about position from pink to black. The pink in itself will be enough.
Yuelong 8.
Just one word for that, Alan. Unforgivable.
Yeah, that is unforgivable at any standard, any match-up, and well, anywhere in the world. You cannot miss. As an absolute sitter. Will he pay?
3.
It looks very much like it. 5 to the good. Brown and blue. Ronnie just checking, double checking his numbers.
Seven.
There's an unwritten rule against the top players in the game. If you miss that sort of chance to secure a frame, you will pretty much always get punished. It's just the way it is.
O'Sullivan 12.
O'Sullivan all but one from victory.
He must be absolutely reeling. One snooker needed by Zhou Yuelong. But the way this frame has gone, it's hard to imagine he'll get it.
Like just try and feather the black onto the cushion like that, just to make the job more difficult.
Sullivan just wants to see the back of this frame, but he won't be impatient. Just still trying to compute what happened on the green. I was going to say it's a 99 out of 100 shot, but really it's, for these guys, 100 out of 100, 1,000 after 1,000.
Yeah, I agree, Phil. It's one of those, you know, he can't believe it himself, I'm sure. When you say nothing in this game, there's no such thing as an easy shot. That's a prime example. You've got to concentrate in every shot.
And that surely is that.
Takes and clean, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Forget the green goblin, that was the green gremlin. And it made Zhou Yuelong malfunction. 5-2. In the county of Shropshire tonight, it seems
you,
the
frame
only
8.
way is Essex.
Zhou Yuelong to
Ronnie O'Sullivan 5-2 up on Zhou Yuelong on the other table. Ali Carter now 4-2 up on Tom Ford thanks to a 66 break in frame 6.
Break-off shots tonight from Zhou Yuelong, and the red has been dispatched in 3 times, 3 occasions.
In frame 6, it was a case of a 136 total clearance from O'Sullivan, direct from
7.
Zhou's break-off. Wonder whether we're going to see something similar as a pièce de résistance this evening. Absolutely terrific crowd here. The West Midlands have always been a real hotbed of snooker, and they've turned up in their numbers. To see shots like that. 14.
Yeah, great pot. Cue ball. Far from ideal, but he never backs off this type of shot. But this is a tough one. Oh, that's a superb pot. Now, is the black going to stop this red passing?
$21. 22. $29. $30.
Closing in on what would be his 142nd ranking tournament quarter-final. In all professional events, he's approaching 250 quarter-finals.
$37. $38. $45.
It's often the way with O'Sullivan. When you show him weakness, he tends to be merciless.
53. 54.
This might be the last chance then for Zhou Yuelong, this going wrong. But he's just on the red. It does cut.
$57. $62. $63.
Interesting, isn't it? He's got pink there to the corner for game, really, but he wants a bit more. But clearly this red passes,
65.
which is match ball.
66.
Looks like 7 matches between these two. 7 victories for O'Sullivan.
73. O'Sullivan, 73.
Zhou Yuelong concedes. He made far too many mistakes to contend with Ronnie O'Sullivan, whose unbeaten run now extends to 16 matches. He's into the quarterfinals by a score of 6-2.